Well, I'm here to represent two companies. One is Points Athabasca. Now, Points Athabasca is owned mostly by the Athabasca communities, the 7 communities of the Athabasca Basin. That's Council Port, Graham City, Fond du Lac, Stony Rapids, Black Lake, Hatchet Lake, and Wollaston. And what Points Athabasca does is we do construction. We've been affiliated with working in the mining communities, the uranium mines in the far north. And we've done that for well over 20 years now. And our main objective is to build capacity, not only for our company, but also for the employees that come to work for us. We try to draw our employment needs from the Athabasca Basin. And so that's why it's so very important that we have these career fairs to excite and entice the students that are coming into the workforce, that Points Athabasca may be a company that you might want to work for. Also wanted to tell you about our affiliation with QM Points. Now, QM Points, as you can see from my PowerPoint here, I'm just going to scroll down if I can do that. Oh, there we go. It's all about us, yes. Well, we're QM Points is a partnership between Points Athabasca and Quantum Murray Environmental. Now, a few years back, we saw that there was a need for the environmental cleanups of up in the far north of Saskatchewan. The one low-hanging fruit was the job happening over at Gunner Mines, the abandoned mines over by Uranium City. And so we did get involved. I know that QM Points was involved, or QM Environmental was involved way back in 2011, I believe. They were over there doing some work on the asbestos. And so we partnered up with them and we acquired the other aspects work over at the Gunner's site. And that means that we are walking through the bush and we're collecting up any garbage that we can find. We're also tracking our steps through GPS to ensure that we've walked over all of the area. Now, the objective is to pick up all the garbage that was disposed of or left behind by residents back when the Uranium City was booming, because there was a lot of activity at the shorelines and, you know, around the lakes. And so we're working towards cleaning that up. We find that QM Points is very, very interested in ensuring that we have a clean environment. That's what we do. Okay. There's our other aspects Gunner Mine projects. Here's some community engagement stuff we've done. We've helped out quite a bit by sending supplies up into the communities through this COVID. We've brought in speakers to talk about bullying and racism, as well as suicide, the suicide prevention. We've come into the communities and also done community cleanup tours and hosted barbecues. We continue to involve the communities and their members. As you can see, we've purchased a lot of things like these slippers and these card holders. And there's a few pictures of us coming into the communities and hosting barbecues. That's really to engage the community members and tell them what's going on at our sites. Encourage them to look at their own communities and how they can ensure they're environmentally safe. We did have some young ladies before us at one time in our communities. They were community liaison people, environmental stewards for the communities. And we worked along with them and helped keep community clean. We talked about keeping the communities clean and no littering. That was one of the important messages. Here's some ladies from Black Lake who really like the program, and they would love to be doing that again. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the opportunities that are with both of these companies. And here's some of the the people that we would be looking for: carpenters, welders, surveyors, mechanics, laborers, equipment operators, project coordinators, project managers. These are all trades and great jobs on these projects. Right now, we're at the Gunner Mine with QM points, the Gunner Mine cleanup. There's other cleanup opportunities in northern Saskatchewan, which we're hoping to achieve. I know that we're doing some work still for the uranium mines. We're working on the Wollaston Lake Road right now, and we hope to continue our work with the Saskatchewan highways. We do maintain about over 400 kilometers of road in the Athabasca through our Lenona company that employs numerous entrepreneurs in the Athabasca, and they have equipment and they maintain the roads. Now, if you're looking to get on with us, you would send a resume and a cover letter to apply@pointsathabasca.ca. Well, that's apply@pointsathabasca.ca. And we'll take those, and especially if you're from the Athabasca Basin. And here's what we're looking for. I mean, the best people that we could possibly achieve are people who want to work. They're willing to learn, and they're dependable. That's the number one thing, dependability. You can't be missing flights if you're going into the mines. That just won't cut it. And so if you're that type of person, I've seen it many times, that it wasn't the education or what tickets you had. If you showed up every morning on time and you were dependable and you went out and you did the job and you came back and you said, "Boss, I'm done. What else do you want me to do?" Those are the type of people that make the bosses. They're the foremans next, you know, and then they're next to the project coordinator and project managers and right up there. So that's my best advice that I could give you at this point in time on how to gain employment and of course maintain that employment. That's all an employer really is looking for, somebody that we're willing to pay you for your service, but we want to have the service. And willingness to learn. Here, that's another thing. I encourage you to stay in school, because even though you can acquire a trade with only a grade 10 education, the grade 10 education just isn't cutting it anymore. Grade 12 education, you need that to get into the mines. A lot of the trades, you need to have a grade 12 education. So I suggest that all students do their best in high school, walk out of there with a grade 12 certificate, and you can do whatever you want. Nowadays, in this world, here we are, we're talking to each other over a computer, and that's the way of the future. So if you are a computer literate, if you can stay focused, if you're willing to learn, you're willing to take some training, I think you can achieve any type of employment that you want. And so that's what I would say. And I think that we're right on time there with that presentation. I did want about our logo contest that is coming up, and I've advertised it on my Facebook as well as the QM Points Facebook. We're looking for a logo, and this is open from all K to grade 12 students in the Athabasca Basin. The deadline for submissions is actually in 2 more days. We may extend it depending on how many entries we've had. But if you go onto the Facebook, onto my Facebook page, Glenn Strong, you will see the poster that talks about this logo design contest. So I'm looking for some nice logos that we turn them into pins and we wear them. And the theme is no littering. It's so important. We put the onus on these mines and these companies that come in to our regions of no littering. You know, when we were working in the mines, you could not throw a cigarette butt or any piece of paper on the ground. That had to go into your pocket and disposed of properly. And that's the way it should be when we're working in nature. If it wasn't there before, it shouldn't be there now. That's the motto. Okay. And many times when I'm going up into the far north, I see a lot of stuff getting thrown out of vehicles on the side of the road. We can wait until we get to our communities and put it in a bin. I know that. And so we're trying to encourage that. So please send in your submissions for this logo design contest. And there's one more thing that I want to talk about, and that's the scholarships that are coming up. We have 12 scholarships worth $3,500 each. And this is open for all of these 7 Athabasca-based communities, okay? Announcement will be made shortly on when that opens up. Make sure you apply, because like I said, we've got 12 $3,500 scholarships to award. And we continue to be COVID aware. COVID-19 protocols are in place on all of our sites. And I pray that we can get through this and we'll all get through safely. Thank you. That's my presentation. I'm willing to take any questions. Or I'll just sit here and smile.
Thank you, Glenn. We do have a question from Christy.
Okay.
Christy Jackson asks, how do you apply for scholarships?
There will be a site that you will send your applications to. There will be, you will see it on our Facebook page. I'll make sure everybody sees it. And you can either check that out on Glenn Strong's Facebook page or QM Point's Facebook page, as well as Points Athabasca's Facebook page. So it'll be out there on Facebook. I expect the announcement of these scholarships coming up within the next week or so. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Glenn.
Thank you, Kara.
So if we Glenn, can you stop sharing your screen and I'm going to share mine?
I will stop sharing my screen. No, how do I do that, Kara?
You just click on stop share.
Stop share. Oh yeah, stop share. There we go.
There we go.
And you know what, Kara? I said to myself, what a poor spot. I'm the last person, but it's actually the best spot because it's right before the prizes. Yeah.
You betcha. You betcha. So we're going to get started.